Hey guys, I just thought that I would film what will hopefully be a quick little kitchen tour. We're actually moving out of this place tomorrow. We've only been here for a couple months. It was a short-term lease situation, but I just thought it might be fun to put up on YouTube a kitchen tour that's a little bit like in a way smaller space. Like most of the people I watch anyway have their own houses, which is awesome. But like, you know, are working with a much more generous and oftentimes modern space, because this is an old building. It's from originally from 1910. I believe it was converted to apartments in the 40s. So we're kind of working with like 40s design in here. It's obviously been updated, but it's a fun, like quirky little space. It's super cute. But so here we go. So the cool thing about the kitchen is that on this side you have the original cabinets from like the 40s, and then on this side they put in like modern cabinets. So again, kind of quirky. You might hate it and think like, ew, mismatched cabinets, but I actually think that it's pretty cute. Keep like some of the history intact. So in here we have like that very classic older house thing where you've got like cabinets above and below and like a small counter space. This is maybe like a foot, like obviously that's an iPad, so that gives you some sense of perspective. So it's a small little like bar space, but it's cute. Keep fruit bowl here, iPad plugged in here since I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Bread or bagels or anything like that we have right here next to the toaster. Obviously the space is a little bit short and awkward, but for short term it's not a big deal. Here's our coffee grinder, French press where my boyfriend takes cold pressed coffee to work. This is our coffee beans that we're working on. We keep a bulk thing in the freezer. And then here, I love this. I've had this in like every kitchen I've lived in for a long time. A little brush and dustpan. Just for it, I never use it on the floor. I only use it on countertops to get rid of crumbs before I wipe a counter off. Okay, so what we have in the cabinets on this side, sorry, I'll rotate you around, is, and this is like a classic thing where like you have this little like latch in the back of this cabinet that you have to like undo with your finger, which my boyfriend thinks it's annoying. I think it's cute. This is just like kind of our dry goods cabinet. Obviously lots of man food. Like Costco bulk pork and beans and, you know, box mac and cheese, but that's okay. And this is just, yeah, where we keep like kind of dry ingredients, peanut butter, nuts, like just snack type stuff. Some honey back there. And then in the cabinets next to it, which like are identical, is where we keep like more baking ingredients. Attack of the boyfriend. Giant Costco thing of pancake mix, popcorn, rice, and then this whole shelf right here is baking, you know, flour, sugar, all different types of sugars and vanilla, that kind of thing. Up here we have onions. If we have potatoes, which we don't right now, we have them right there. This is clean oil that hasn't been used to fry yet, and then that's a giant thing of maple syrup. Again, you can guess the origin of that. And then back down under here we have in this drawer our microfiber cleaning cloths. We don't really use paper towels. We tend to just use microfiber for everything. We use yellow ones for drying dishes and laying dishes out, and then we use green ones for actual cleaning, like wiping stuff up, that kind of thing. Just like to keep those separated. In this drawer we have dish rags for what we actually wash dishes with, and then here we have what we use as like hand towels. We hang one on the oven. And this is just a gigantic junk drawer that was organized when we first moved in and is no longer, but you know, oh well. Flip you back around again. Down here is where we have like this huge cabinet, which turned out pretty perfect for our like glassware. Like we have our mixing bowls, our big measuring cups. This is an IKEA jar. Like we keep these in the freezer with our massive things of coffee, and then just put it out little bits at a time on the counter. And we don't really have like plastic Tupperware, but we use, you know, like the Pyrex Snapware, and there's like plastic covers for those things. And like I said, a little bit of a mess, but pretty much know where everything is. And then here, I think this is such a cute old feature. This is a flour bin, and it's where most people would put their garbage can. It just like pulls out like that. We put dirty microfiber cloths in there. Obviously we dry them on the radiator before we toss them in there, but I like to keep those separate from other laundry because if you get a lot of lint on them, that will affect their absorbency. So I actually usually wash those on their own when we get a full load. And here's our sink. We don't have a dishwasher in here, which I'm not gonna lie, I think totally sucks for two people who like to cook a lot. I mean, I spend like an hour a day minimum doing dishes, like it's just crazy. But this is a big and beautiful sink. So if you have to do dishes by hand, you can't complain too much about having a sink like this. It's gigantic. It's super deep. Obviously you've got 2 compartments. We don't have a disposal, but again, oh well. We do have a sink sprayer, so things could be worse. Things over here, not too organized, but at least doable. Dish brush, dish wand, hand soap. And then we keep like whatever dish rag we've got going hanging up there so it doesn't get icky. My boyfriend's favorite product ever, Ajax dish soap. He just loves it. And then like a sponge and things for cleaning out the sink. And then this Windex touch-up, which we'll probably talk about this in another video, but I'm not like a huge fan of the product. I actually just really like the bottle. So once I'm done with the product, I have a 2-pack of it. I'm just gonna put probably like vinegar with maybe some essential oils or like a little bit of Castile soap in the bottle and just use it for the same purpose, but just a formula I like a little bit better. And then this corner over here, right to the left of the sink, sorry, whoa, you're getting like really bad sun. There we go. This is obviously my favorite little corner. This is where I keep my mixer. This is the, in case you're wondering, it's like the artisan one. The color's Empire Red. It's obviously like a pretty common one. And then this is where I keep my my coffee maker. Like I said, my boyfriend, usually we do cold brew for him in the French press because he likes cold coffee, and then I like just normal hot coffee, so I make myself coffee in here. I actually really like this. I'll probably do a review on it when I'm more settled in our next place, because it's like a single serve brewer, but it's way better than Keurig. Like I despise Keurig coffee. Like I just think it's terrible. If you like it, then good for you and enjoy the convenience, but I just like this so much better. There's actually a cone like gold tone filter in here, so it doesn't use like cups or anything like that. But then we've got a big drawer under here, and that looks like kind of a mess, but I basically just keep my mixer attachments in here, and the bowl cover with the chute are different like hot mitts. And then we've got a couple knives in here that don't really fit in the knife block, and we also have a knife sharpener. Obviously we don't have kids or anything, so it's okay to have knives where we want to leave them. Under here we've got a really big cabinet. This is where we keep small appliances. There's deep fryer, rice cooker. That's where we keep colanders because then they're right next to the sink. Back there's like the blender. I don't think there's anything behind that. Up on the shelf we have my slicer and shredder attachment for my mixer. I don't really highly recommend that in case you're wondering, but I might do a video on that too. And then under the sink cabinet, this isn't terribly organized, but I just have like cleaning things, you know, refills of stuff, dish wand refills, pure filter refills, huge thing of vinegar since we use that for everything, and garbage bags. And this is where we keep our actual garbage can, which looks gross. It was full of garbage, I'm sorry. But my boyfriend, like I said, just couldn't handle it in that cabinet for some reason, so we keep it under the sink instead. There's our window, but it's getting really bright out, so I'm not going to show you out there and blind you. Radiator is back in this awkward little space next to the stove. Like I said, everything's just kind of quaint and quirky, so you just kind of have to embrace that. I keep the cast iron out on the stove all the time because it is just too heavy to be taking in and out of like a cabinet every day. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then this, I had a tea kettle, but it had gotten old and had like rusted, so obviously couldn't use that. And I'm not really in the market for one right now because, like I said, we're moving. So I just use this little teeny saucepan and leave that out, and all I do with it is boil water for tea. But up here, sorry, this is really messy, is like our spice cabinet. All of our spices in here, and some random shea butter from when I was making lotion earlier, and some olive oil. Normally I have these all like separated out and in a row nicely, but like I said, we're starting to move tomorrow, so what's the point really? And then up here we have like oils and stuff. Agave, my like, I only have 4 different kinds of tea here right now, but you know, short term. Then paper coffee filters, which we actually use those to filter oil that we've used in the deep fryer. Because we don't have a full-size coffee maker. We don't really use that. But then, and this oven doesn't have, that isn't a pan drawer. That's actually a broiler drawer down there. So there's nothing in there except a broiler pan. I keep our giant Costco salt and peppers right there. The only hazard is like this cap fell off and there's actually like probably a 6-inch gap behind there, so that's gone. And I'm pretty proud of myself for never having actually knocked an entire thing of salt or pepper back there, so snaps to me. Here's our like actual knife set and butcher block. I keep, we have one giant cutting board and I just keep that tilted up against the wall when it's clean. There's an outlet behind it, but I don't tend to use that much. I tend to use the outlets on the other side of the kitchen. Here I just have, I obviously have a huge thing of essential oils, and this is just a few of them, but these are the doTERRA ones that actually get used in either like drinking water or cooking or baking. So I keep those out here. Obviously just butter dish. We're out of paper towels, and like I said, we barely ever use them, but we keep them back in that corner. And then some of my boyfriend's like magnesium stay calm things. Then here's our silverware drawer. We had this vertical at first, but we had to rotate it 90 degrees because it's like too narrow for the drawer. So every time you open the drawer, it kept like flying back and forth. And then we have like our giant serving spoons back here. And you know, any US chapstick just like hanging out, because in all of my dwellings you'll find those in really random places because you never know when you're going to need it. And then here's our utensils drawer, which is obviously just a hot mess, but it's working for now, and it's a good space, so I won't complain too much about the mess. We keep pots and pans under here. Sorry, it's kind of dark in here. Cookie sheets, baking trays, that kind of thing. Skillets all lined up there. Saucepans, big Dutch oven and covers. And then there's a shelf up there, and we've got like a couple casseroles, and then we've also got like a 9x9, you know, like brownie type pan that we keep back there just because there's no real good place to put it. Excuse me. Underneath the silverware drawer, we have this middle drawer, which we keep like, you know, this kind of stuff, like Ziploc bags if we had them, like saran wrap, aluminum foil, and then these like Gladware things, which I'm not a huge fan of like storing food in plastic, but we only use those for when my boyfriend, like, you know, takes sandwiches and snacks to work. So it's not too bad. And then down here is like an entire drawer that is dedicated to our various graters. We got this in a pack at Costco. It's like a KitchenAid thing where you get a couple different graters and stuff. It's actually a really cool set. I highly recommend it. And then this might be my boyfriend's air popcorn popper, which like we have never used. If we ever make popcorn, we just do it on the stove. So that just got tucked back wherever I could fit it. And then up on top of the fridge here, we have ice cube trays because I'm not sure why we have like 10, but you know, we do. And then we also keep the wok up here because it is like totally gigantic and really heavy, and there's just frankly nowhere else to put it. And then back over here, cabinets. This is like drinkware, obviously. Normal glasses, travel mugs for coffee, coffee mugs, stemless wine glasses, which are the only kind I will use. We have a whole set back here, these glass things. They're like glass carafe pitcher type things for different purposes. We keep like a huge one just with filtered water in the fridge all the time that we drink from. Obviously we've got a cocktail mixer, we've got a couple random glasses that don't really fit down there and that kind of thing. Here's where we keep our normal dishes, plates, bowls, big like serving plates up there. Obviously we don't have a pretty set of dishes or anything. We just have stuff that we have stolen from our parents. So it's mostly Corelle-ware of various assortments from like, I'm gonna say the 70s or 80s. It's not pretty, but if you have any, you know that that stuff lasts forever. So then there is like a liquor cabinet type thing on top of the fridge. There's stuff in it that previous tenants left here, and I can't reach that, so it's not like I'm gonna put anything in it. The space between the wall and the fridge is where we keep like mop, broom, extended handle duster thing, And then there's also the light switches back here. The light switches in this apartment are all in super awkward places. And then we keep the HEPA filter on the floor here and turn it on every time we cook, because you might have noticed that there is no range hood or fan or anything like that. So we kind of try and, like, between opening the window and keeping the HEPA filter on, try to keep the smells down to a minimum and that kind of thing. And so, yep, this is like a really narrow space. Like I said, it's quirky, but I was just hoping that this might help someone if you're trying to figure out how to organize a kitchen when you've got like really limited space, or you're working in an older building where, yeah, things are just kind of quirky. Like, I think we managed a decent job for only living here for 2 months, and, you know, it being the way that it is, but I think it's really cute. I am gonna miss it. These countertops, in case you're wondering, it's kind of cool. They're actually a manufactured quartz tile, which is annoying to clean for countertops, but I guess it's a pretty cost-effective way for landlords to give you an upgraded counter without actually, you know, putting in granite countertops. So there's the full view, and it's bittersweet because, like I said, I am gonna miss this place. It's adorable, but it is just not super functional. It's not the right place for us in the long term. There's not enough counter space. We really need a dishwasher because we cook a ton, and I seriously spend at least an hour every day just doing dishes, which is obviously just not sustainable. But and we don't have a microwave. We decided against putting one in here because we honestly barely ever use it. I actually would really rather have a toaster oven than a toaster, because that kind of covers some of your microwave bases, but we really just don't do much microwaving of stuff, so we figured it would just take up extra counter space. But obviously, like, if you had a really small one that could fit in there height-wise, you could do it. Or, you know, if you didn't have like a huge coffee maker and stand mixer that you insisted on having out, then you could put it there. So overall, it's not a bad space for working with something like that. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.